Walk you through number 3 in the assignment, but looking at the reading that's been assigned in CK12 because there's a problem just like number 3 in the reading. So if I look at this problem, it's asking me to find the common difference, the first term, and the nth term for the arithmetic sequence for A7 equals 17 and A20 equals 82. So if I look at this, the only difference here is that they're asking for the sum given those terms. And the sum formula, if you guys remember that, requires that we know the first term, the term number, and the difference. So I know that my n value in the homework assignment is going to be 23. I want to add them all the way up through 23. So I know that my n is 23. What I don't know is what the common difference is or the first term. So that's what this reading is telling us how to do, is how to find the common difference and the first term so that I can then get the sum. So let's see how they do that. We're going to start by using the nth term rule to create two equations. So if I know the seventh term is 17, I can use the formula to find the term number. So here I'm saying 17 equals the first term plus its term 7, so my n is 7, minus 1 times my difference. The problem here is I don't know what my first term is. I'm looking for that. And I don't know what my common difference is. I'm also looking for that. So what I wind up with is not a number answer, but an equation. So I know that my first term plus 6, which is coming from 7 minus 1, times d equals 17. And that's as far as I can get with this formula. Then to find the 20th term, I say, okay, I know the 20th term is 82, so that I have term 1 plus my 20 minus 1, and that's coming from, it's the 20th term, equals 82. I simplify that, and I get another equation. Now that I have two equations, I can solve them using a system. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract the two equations so that when I subtract them, that first term cancels out and I'm just left with my d's. So when I do 6 plus negative 19 or 6 minus 19, that lands me at negative 13. 17 minus negative 82 lands me at negative 65. And then I get my difference is 5. So that's how I'm running through this, or 17 plus. So I get my difference is 5. Great. Now that I know my difference, I can plug that into my original equation from up here. So I get that my first term plus 6 times 5 equals 7, and now I have my first term. Now that I have my first term and I know my difference, I can find the sum. So let's see what that looks like. I know I'm looking for the first, in this problem, the first 20 terms. So my n is going to be 20. Ooh, that's a big stroke there. So I know my n is 20. I know I just solved my common difference, and that was 5. And I know my first term is going to be negative 13. So I'm going to take all of that information, I'm going to plug in to get 20 over 2 times my first term. There's 20 terms in the sequence for this example, and my common difference is 5. Then I'm just going to simplify that. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 2 times negative 13 is going to be negative 26 plus 19 times 5. So that gives me 10, negative 26 plus 19 times 5. So I'm going to utilize a calculator for that so that I don't have to do it by hand, and you can always have that option. So when I do 19 times 5, I get 95. So then I'm going to do negative 26 plus 95 is 69. So my answer is 690. So all I did was I followed the reading to get to what is my first term and what is my common difference for number 3. And then I finished that example from the reading out to show you what you will need to do in number 3 and the homework to be able to get the total sum. So I hope this helps you kind of walk through number 3. It's a little challenging because there's a lot of steps. And what I want you to think about is not so much how do I get to the final answer. I want you to think about showing your steps of work so that if you were working this problem with a student, they could follow along. So think about how many times you've looked at a math textbook and you felt very lost. Maybe you looked at this reading and you felt very lost. So show every step that helps someone else who would look at it retain it, because that's really what I'm looking for, is how would you step by step walk a student through this math problem.